Hey up, welcome to Plus Parks and Attractions. Today we're in York and we're going to go on a river cruise. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, why don't you hit that subscribe button? Will you join us?
45 minutes today, that's a stretch of time. We can expect to cover a 4-mile stretch of river. Taking you northward to begin with, as far north as Clifton and York's northern outskirts. We'll split the boat at the top end of town there. We'll then cut downstream through the city centre. That's the portion of the cruise where you'll probably expect to take in most of the historic and medieval sites. Continuing south, we'll leave the city walls behind us again and then go as far down at the northern end of Fulford, just in front of the Millennium Bridge, where we'll split the boat for the second time and come back up rivers in the last stages. We should be back in King Staith around the last one. We of course carry more than sufficient life-saving flotation aids for all passengers and crew. We carry enough for 131 in fact, which is definitely enough for the 32 of us that we have on board at this moment in time. This equipment can mostly be found on the upper deck in the form of an open reversible inflatable life raft and the white canister behind the wheelhouse and stack. The large central windows at the enclosed saloon downstairs are designed to slide open. These can provide additional exits if required, also for any minor cuts or scrapes. We do carry a first aid box too, that's located and available behind the boat's bar. Well, that's all on safety, so thank you very much for your attention. If you've got any questions about river safety, the sailings, or anything at all to do with life in general really, please don't hesitate to contact either member of the boat's crew. We'll be more than happy to help you clarify any points you'd like explaining. I can't guarantee that we know all the answers to life's deepest mysteries, of course, but we'll certainly try our best to help. Speaking of your crew this afternoon, then we'll do some quick introductions now. I'd like to turn around for this bit because I usually start off with myself. My name's Larry. Hello. I'd like to do this because it proves I'm really speaking. I know that I do sound a bit like a recording at times. But they'll actually provide live commentary on all my cruises, which I think is better than the printed or recorded alternative. I will of course let you do that. If you hear one short blast on a boat's horn, it generally means it's turning right, that's starboard. 2 means it's turning left, that's the port, so the sound signal that you just heard. And 3 short blasts, if you hear that, usually means that we're operating a stern gear, so that's either reversing or stopping. Of course, the one sound signal on the river which you really do need to listen out for is the one incredibly long, the long blast on the horn that doesn't stop. So if you hear that one, it generally means I've fallen asleep with my head on the book. Which admittedly has never happened yet, but I'm told there's a first time for everything, so please do keep an eye on me. You never know, it could happen.
Got York Minster in the distance.
It's the metropolitical cathedral church of St. Peter the Apostle in York. Which probably goes some way towards explaining why the locals call it York Minster. Full name's a bit of a mouthful. Despite its great size, the Minster can only be viewed from just a handful of points on the riverbank, most of which are on this next stretch here, and even then it is only fleeting glimpses really, nestled in amongst the trees. Truth be told, your best views of the cathedral can be gained by walking up Museum Street at the front of it. But we've yet to figure out how to make the most of there, unfortunately. As being said, I'd like to bring the cruises up this far just to afford you a couple of views of the bell towers, and to give us an opportunity to talk at least a little bit about the history of the structure, because no visit to York would be complete without learning at least a little about the city's most iconic building. The Minster as we know it today was commissioned in 1220 AD by the Archbishop of York at that time, Walter de Grey. Walter de Grey was a very prolific figure in the medieval life of York, responsible for numerous ecclesiastical buildings in and around the city. Now, all his other achievements notwithstanding, York Minster was arguably Walter de Grey's masterpiece. A shame, therefore, that he never lived to see his masterpiece completed. With the ebb and flow of funding, materials and manpower to the project, the Minster wasn't declared finished or consecrated until 1472. That's 252 years in construction. Looking through the bridge into the distance here, another view is opening up from this perspective. Possibly the second most photographed view in the city.
Scarborough Bridge.
And definitely one of York's most
Robert Stevenson's son.
We're looking at the northern aspect of
designed this bridge.
Lendal Bridge in the foreground, the Guild Hall, and St Martin the Grand, Coley Street behind it.
The next bridge coming up, sort of the most
Before we get
photographed
back to
bridges
Lendal
in the
Bridge, take a
city.
look over to the
Yeah,
left-hand bank
it's very
here.
pretty,
You'll see a
that bridge.
small round
Nice, lot of detail.
with arrow poles set in the side of it.
Called Lendal
This tower sits at the western corner point of what used to be the outer defences of a very powerful Benedictine monastery that lay in the grounds behind it. It's nothing to do with the city walls whatsoever. That abbey was known as St Mary's Abbey. It was founded in the year 1088 AD and at one time was the wealthiest abbey in the north of England. Like a lot of institutions
Canadian
of
geese.
its type, St Mary's didn't survive the reign of
Seem to be
Henry the
everywhere,
Eighth.
Canadian geese nowadays.
They like
It was
British
destroyed
geese.
during the conflict between the monarch and the Catholic Church, which culminated in the Act of Supremacy of 1541, the founding of the Church of England, and the destruction of a lot of England's Catholic monasteries.
You can stand up, you could see it. Couldn't stand up again.
No.
The area of land behind the fencing on the left here, what used to be the grounds of St Mary's, nowadays is 10 acres of formal gardens known as Museum Gardens. So called because they're home to the Yorkshire Museum of 1823. The Yorkshire Museum's main building, the Tempest Anderson Hall, was one of the first custom-designed museum builds anywhere in the country. You'll see it briefly through this
Museum
picture
Gardens.
on the left just now.
There, you're
With
right.
the lamppost in the middle of it. Look to the left, to the top of the hill as we pass by, you'll see the colonnades on the front of the Tempest Anderson Hall, which is where the Yorkshire Museum's main exhibits are housed.
Lendal Bridge.
Straight in front of us here now is Lendal Bridge, of course, the older of York's two cast-iron Victorian road crossings. Completed in 1863, this bridge marks the northern end of the medieval walled city. It was designed by the eminent architect and engineer Sir Thomas Page.
Medieval walls of York.
On the Thames in
Going under Lendal Bridge.
The two towers to the left and right of us here, Lendal Tower and Barker Tower, form part of York City walls, of course. And as such,
Lendal Tower and Barker Tower.
the line between the two, we're entering the medieval city at the northern end of town.
Got some pictures.
Speaking of medieval York, that's York's Guild Hall ahead of us on the left here, the cream gold limestone building topped by crenellations. The oldest parts of the Guild Hall date back to the 15th century, but a lot of what you can see here today is post-war restoration work. We nearly lost this building to fire during the Second World War, you see. In 1942, during one of the Baedeker bombing raids, the German Air Force, the Luftwaffe, dropped incendiary bombs over York, a number of which missed their intended targets and hit the Guild Hall, which was totally gutted by fire. The building wasn't restored until 1960. closest to us here was built first.
Going under the Hughes Bridge.
The previous bridge that occupied the site, the 5-arch Tudor structure, had been pulled down. Passing underneath here, keep your eyes peeled on the sides and above you. You'll see evidence of this, a distinct split, a dividing line between the two sections, because it is in fact two bridges built next to one another. And that's a detail you don't really see.
See that? Two bridges next to each other.
Continuing south through the Hughes Bridge, we're now entering the port of York. This was the busiest area of the city in years gone by, and it remains.
Now we're into a part of York.
Now, but for slightly different drinking-related reasons nowadays, as opposed to the offloading of cargo. The quayside of the left is here.
Woods Mill Quay.
Staith, that's where we set off from at the beginning of this cruise. The quayside on the right-hand bank opposite, you can see clearly written on the wall over there, Queen's Staith. Staith itself is an Old Norse word, an Old Viking word that means mooring.
Oh, York Sea Cadets.
There are an awful lot of the Vikings here in York, of course, but none of the older street names and areas.
Some of the luxury flats.
And in particular streets that end in the suffix gate, which comes from the Old Norse gata, which means street.
It'd be nice to live in one of them luxury flats at York.
Well, the purpose streets looking more or less deserted nowadays. This wouldn't have been the case historically.
Interesting construction on the front. I wonder if it's for pulling furniture and that up to the top of it.
The York as a whole came from the 1960s onwards, really, with the rise of road transport and increasing use of container ships at sea. The last commercial cargoes to be dropped here were dropped in 1997. There's been no cargo carrying of any kind up to York since then. The fact nowadays, apart from these passenger boats and the higher class, of course, there's no longer any commercial use of this structure within the term. Straight in front of us now, marking the entrance to York's original port district, is Skeldergate Bridge.
Skeldergate Bridge? Skeldergate Bridge? Is that how I pronounce it? Skeldergate Bridge? Not sure how I pronounce that. Maybe you can comment below.
There is an interesting feature on Skeldergate.
Skeldergate, I think.
The small arch on the river on the left. Halfway along the archway is a split, a crack in the metalwork. Originally, that arch was designed to open. The road deck rose upwards like a drawbridge, and the two sides of the bridge swung open outwards like a pair of gates.
So it should have been a drawbridge originally, this.
Boats enter and exit from the port district without lowering their masts or rigging. Of course, the winding is very long since being moved now. The last time the bridge opened was in 1971, as part of York's 1900th year anniversary. About 1900 years since the founding of this city by the Romans. The Roman Empire were meant to have been the first people to settle here. They built a legionary fortress in AD 71, very close to this area of land that you see here on the left-hand bank now, in fact. And this is the Romans referred to as the architectural techniques. This is where the unitary grows. Of course, there's no unitaries to look at.
We've got Millennium Bridge.
That was designed by a 9-year-old.
9-year-old?
9-year-old schoolgirl in the competition. The York Minster competition for school kids to design the bridge. And that was the design that won.
Must be a spokes on a wheel.
Yeah.
Less than 50 miles between York and the sea in a straight line. En route, we passed through Selby, Goole, Grimsby and the Hope, of course. The river undergoes another name change from the Ouse to the Humber at the point where the River Trent flows into the Ouse at Trent Falls. It eventually then flows out to the north.